And welcome to another segment called Through the Attic Window with your hosts, Christopher Tanner and Chris Hanna.
Oh, yeah.
This is the opinion show because we wanted to keep it separate.
Regulations. Because regulations, damn it.
It's our opinion series. Because have you ever wondered what Chris Squared thinks when they're not constrained by facts?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Well, you're about to. You're about to know. Because look no farther, because this is our uncut and raw look about life, politics, religion as the dual jaunts to provide a peek behind the curtain of their minds.
Oh, no. You're getting deep on this one, man.
I am. Welcome to episode 3 of Through an Attic Window. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We always enjoy these conversations. And we shortened the show up a little bit because we wanted to give everybody a way to enjoy factual content without having to listen to us rant too heavily about different topics. And we thought this would be a good outlet for us to continue to rant, drink, because I won't lie and say that we're
late.
sober.
It's late. It's real late.
And give us a way to talk about opinions without being constrained by the factual side of things and having to do a million hours of research.
Yeah, so we just finished episode 7, and this is the end.
70 drunk.
70. There's
and I can
zero
swear
on
on
the end
this
of that
fucker.
one. Yeah, so we just finished episode 70. We've got all of this meat that we just put on the show, and so we want to do this one now. This is a little bit more opinion based. We're not going to get all the reading quotations and stuff. We're just going to have some fun.
Well, I'm going to read quotations, but I don't care what you say. But
okay.
So what drove this part of the segment is we talked quite a bit about marijuana legalization over the last year and a half. We have. It's a fact. It's part of the activism that I've been involved with.
That's when we had all kinds of people yelling at us on the internet.
We did.
And they were watching the show and listening to the show, and they're like, hey, man, shut the hell up.
Yeah, people were like, stop talking about marijuana. We don't care. And I was like, well, no, I do care because it violates minorities' properties, blah, 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 blah. And so anyway, long story short, over the last week, the Trump administration has pledged to violate state rights on legalization of marijuana.
Really?
They have, yeah. They're basically saying they're going to come out and they're going to start going after states that have legalized marijuana.
Oh, so the states that have legalized it, they're going to say, no, you guys chose to legalize it, but
we don't care.
We don't care.
We're the federal government.
The Fed sets the state marijuana, or the Fed sets the marijuana laws. Even if the state itself says, we're okay with this, it's cool. We're going to charge some money, and we're going to be like Colorado and make like $30 million.
Yeah. And the problem is that Trump actually pledged during the campaign to leave marijuana legalization to the states, right? And
was it like a hard pledge? Did he say I'm going to legalize marijuana?
No. He did not say he would legalize it.
That's what I mean. It was kind of like a legalized light, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. Just let the states do what they want to do.
And yes, so Trump ran very heavily as an outside candidate, and the fact that he was going to let state rights preside, right? So if state rights legalized marijuana or decriminalized it,
he was okay
or
with it,
allowed for the medicalization of it, he was going to allow for this. Now, last week, what did he say? He said that he's going to crack down on he didn't say, but his administration said they're going to crack down on recreational marijuana use in states such as California, where voters legalized pot last November, making a possible change from the Obama administration's more permissive approach. There is a federal law, he said, that we need to abide by in terms of when it comes to recreational marijuana and other drugs of this nature.
Especially with the new attorney general, the guy has openly and outspokenly said he's anti-marijuana. And he ignores any of the scientific findings that we've seen in the most recent years.
And they admitted that they're going to see a greater increase in enforcement. Now,
more money to the drug cartels in Mexico. Yeah, woo.
Yeah,
that's where I see it going.
the problem becomes, and you're right, Hannah, that's a prohibition discussion that we can have in a second here.
Okay.
The problem I have is that earlier in the week, the Trump administration basically said, you know what? We're going to leave transgender bathroom rights up to states.
Really?
They did, yeah.
So they said, okay, the states have the power to decide whether or not people who identify as male or female can actually go into the bathroom that they decide that that they want to go into.
So if North Carolina,
they're cool with that.
Yeah, so North Carolina says, well, we don't believe transgender individuals exist, and we believe either you're, if you have a penis, you're a male, and if you have a vagina, you're a female. Therefore, if you have a penis, no matter what you dress as or what you identify with, you go into a male bathroom. And the opposite for the vagina side of things.
That sounds like South Carolina.
They're going to allow for the states to make that decision, right? And so, but in turn, they're then turning around saying, well, hold on.
But the states can't choose.
If you say marijuana should be legal, hold on a second. It's violating federal law. And I'm saying, God damn it, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What the fuck is wrong with all of you? And sitting here thinking that, okay, you're going to violate transgender rights. You're going to violate individual rights. You're going to violate my humanist intent with these individuals. But yeah, you want to lecture me on whether I can fucking smoke pot if my state tells me? If the state deems the fact that they can make millions of dollars off taxes and you're going to fucking worry about whether somebody pees in the bathroom? Yeah, so hey, go ahead, states. You don't make money off it. We're going to let you make your own decisions. But if you make money off this, hold on a second. We're going to tell you no. What does that sound like? It sounds like a capitalist government off the rails. That's what it sounds like to me.
It sounds to me a little bit more specific. It sounds like a government funded by large corporations to make a lot of money off of pain medications and things like pharmaceuticals. I mean, let's face it, this new administration and all of the people that are in this super majority of the Republican Party, they're looking at, heavy funding from groups that would be incredibly supportive of pharmaceutical monopolies. And so, like, this is a great example of, let's say this is, I'm not saying that this is going to replace opioids in any way, shape, or form, but this could be an alternative to opioids, maybe a less addictive one. I'm okay with that. Let's let the market make that decision whether or not this is going to be something simple. They won't let that happen. They can't possibly let the market, the free market, the open and free decision of people deciding which company they want to support. That's never going to happen for marijuana. Marijuana is never going to be an open market option, and this is a great example of that. Where if let's say this is let out there and it could be a decent pain controlling situation. There's nothing bad from that as far as the FDA says, listen, there's not going to be any really bad side effects. That sounds awesome to me, but it'll never be an option because of the hypocrisy that we're talking about here. When it comes to, like, the state says, okay, well, you guys are allowed to deal with your transgender situations, and the Fed says we won't interfere with that. But when it comes to our ridiculous and long-standing absurdist notion of the war on drugs, well, you know what? We're actually gonna keep enforcing the marijuana one because of reasons that we're not gonna tell you. It's a secret. It's a damn secret.
Well, think of it this way, right? think of it this way. There is entrepreneurship that's happening in the medical marijuana and recreational marijuana community.
I got a job statistics that's gonna blow your mind in a few minutes.
Okay, fine. And so what's happening is that, to me, the Trump administration is coming in and they're saying, well, we're not going to grant state rights for this because we don't feel that entrepreneurship is worth allowing these different avenues to make that money.
The free market.
So the problem becomes is that now they're telling small businesses what they can and cannot make money on. It's a very anti-libertarian. B, it's actually very anti-Republican based on the minimum Republican stance that has happened.
Yeah, they completely and totally support a free market capitalist
as long as it doesn't
society.
include marijuana.
Controlling it is very non-capitalist, if you ask me.
Yeah, and so the problem becomes is that they're looking at this on a more socialist point of view of their ability to control something based on their belief system. That's a very socialist point of view. So people want to criticize, people like me who are very socialist and want the government to intervene versus people that voted for Trump, and Trump's, walking on eggshells
everywhere
in terms of where he's moving towards what entrepreneurship and what small businesses can do. Trump, look, dude, this is a violation of a Small Business Act, right? If I had enough money, I could start my own marijuana business in Michigan, sell it to those who want to buy it. I could open my own dispensary. I could do all these different things. And yet you want to come and crack down on it? Now, tell me how that's good for the economy, because I could explain to you.
How does that make America great again?
It won't. Because look at Colorado. They had $1 billion in marijuana sales, right?
Yeah.
Think of the taxes behind that, man. Think of it as the fact that they're going to employ that many people. It's not like there's one or two people making $1 billion and taking it into their home and going, woo-hoo-hoo, look at me, I'm making billions of dollars. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. That's not how the marijuana system works. And come to Michigan and do the same thing. And so the problem is, it's like Trump is talking out of one side of his mouth and shitting on the other side. And it's all in favor of who's going to give him money. It's all in favor of how the money gets possessed and how the money gets distributed and how funds get allocated. And it's almost like he's re-campaigning because he won. Yeah. Now he's got to figure out, where's my money going to come from for the next 4 years, and how do I get reelected?
Well, he just started his campaign to get reelected 40 days into his first administration.
Yes, and that's unheard of. But let's go back to the pot thing here, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the legalization. It's hypocritical, and I'm going to be flat out fucking honest here. It's hypocritical to tell states you can restrict people on bathroom privileges, but we're going to tell you stop selling pot. And I'm going to tell you, there's more people that have been harmed through molestations of cis-het people, straight males, than there is people that have been harmed through transgender individuals. I have statistics that can prove this.
Oh, yeah, there's no question.
And there's more people that have been harmed than those that have been harmed from marijuana. And that's a statistical analysis.
Basic numbers. Basic numbers will tell you this. This is going into basic numbers. I have a report here from foxfornow.com, and this is Fox. So this is one of the local news pages for. I'm not sure exactly what city this is, but they're citing Frontier Data, which is a data analysis group, and they're saying that, and I've seen this across the board, and there's a lot of people that are supporting this number, is in marijuana-related jobs are set to outpace current U.S. manufacturing jobs by 2020. So the growth of marijuana and the growth of this industry and market, if supported by the United States, is looking at something that would increase beyond our actual manufacturing market, at least by 2020. At the current restricted rates, with the smothered and held down rates right now, by 2020. Like, we're talking massive growth by the smothered markets. What would happen if we were let the capitalist market go free, as all of our conservative constituents would love to say? Let it go. Let the people decide, not the government, not the people at the top decide what is the moral, what is the best way to do these things. Let the market decide.
Yeah,
your Christian morality doesn't get to make the decision here.
Yeah, and you're not going to hear Hannah and I say that very often.
No,
that's actually a minority position you and I hold here. And there is different people like Ferguson who wrote Sessions last week, and he said this. He says, I'm going to ask for a meeting to discuss state pot laws, though they have received zero reply from them, right? He's received zero reply from the Trump administration. He's saying
Sessions is adamantly against marijuana.
Yeah, he's
been reportedly shown to absolutely hate any kind of marijuana legalization.
Yeah. He says this, states like Washington have legal tools to resist an effort. In the same way, we have legal tools to resist the executive travel ban, said Ferguson, who led the lawsuit against Trump's administration through the executive order on refugees and immigrants. Marijuana legalization proponents still cling to the comments President Trump made during the campaign when he pledged to leave regulation up to the states. The administration should respect science and at the very least needs to uphold the president's repeated campaign pledges to respect state cannabis laws, said Tom Angulo, who heads a pro-legalization group called Marijuana Majority.
Yeah, why not? If this is what he campaigned on to get elected to be president, why shouldn't he be held accountable for these positions?
And what we're seeing is a flip-flop, folks.
Fuck, of course we are.
We're watching...
How can a GOP candidate not flip up on marijuana? Like, hey guys, I guarantee I'll get you your pot legalized. As soon as you get voted in,
yeah. What we're watching is a candidate forsake the values he got elected for. We're watching a candidate forsake state values. Now, I'm not going to tell you I always agree with state values and that I think that those should be upheld. But I'm sitting here saying, I didn't vote for Trump.
No.
But I can respect if he wants to be an outsider and come in and bring state laws back. You got to at least be consistent.
He's not doing that.
If you want to be the president of the United States, Mr. Trump, please at least be consistent. Let's be consistent in what we do. Let's be inconsistent in what we're going to go with this. If you want to grant state laws to violate transgender bathroom rights, for fuck's sake, and your fucking goddamn actual statistics don't even goddamn show you that they're the actual proponent that's harming children.
Hello.
Why the fuck are you going to sit here and tell me that my state rights can't allow me to smoke pot? Because guess what? In reality here, folks, in reality, the way that everything goes is the statistics do not show that transgender people harm children. It shows that cis-het people harm children. And in reality, guess what doesn't harm children? Guess what doesn't harm adults? Marijuana. It's not a gateway drug. The statistics do not show this. And it shows the fact that prohibition has ruined states. Prohibition has allowed alcohol to make money, allows cigarettes to make money, and yet we're going to sit here and blame pot for this? No, it's a way to reduce and to minimize and marginalize minority groups. And I'm sorry my voice is cracking here because I'm sick, but it's a way to marginalize groups through a easy drug that the majority of people use. More black people get convicted of marijuana crimes than white people, but guess what? The equality in who smokes it is the same. It is not black people that smoke more pot than white people. We're the fucking same, folks. But yet more black people get arrested for pot crimes than white people do? Why don't we check ourselves? Why don't we watch where we're going to be at? Why don't we understand where life is going to move us? And why don't we actually understand how the laws affect us? And instead of Trump trying to sit here and turn around and say state rights, state rights, state rights, we should be accepting the fact that the Trump administration favors those that pay him. This has been another segment of Through the Attic Door. Thank you very much, and have a good night, everyone.